Rocket Bass RB112. EQ is flat with a jazz bass. I actually got to drop that string just a little bit on the pickup. But yeah, it sounds just like a Portaflex, bro. And it's cheap. And it gets loud. And it looks great. Turn up treble like one notch, mid-range like one notch. Bass is pretty good. Oh yeah, there we go. So it's got like a little half a scoop, which is cool. It's a natural kind of scoop, I guess. It doesn't sound overly boomy, but it makes it sound bigger than it is. So. You add one half a notch of mids, and it's the classic full Ampeg sound. I got silencers on my bass, so they're semi-flats, so it's got like a flat-esque kind of vibe to it. It's actually really bright with rounds. I played through my P bass. It loves the P bass, but I figured jazz bass is good because it does multiple sounds. high-ass bass through the RB112. I've got mid just about halfway in between the first notch, and treble about the same. Bass is flat. Yeah, let me boost the bass a little bit. And the volume, let's see what the volume sounds like a little higher. With the bass boost. Let's see if it distorts out or not. I haven't hit the SGT yet. And I don't think I'm going to until I play with it a little bit. Alright, so it distorts out a little bit. I got the bass boosted kind of high. Yeah, one notch. But the volume's almost full. I don't think I'll ever be pushing this thing that high normally, but let's just give it a shot. Let's break this one. Maybe with a decent compression. I'm just plugged straight in. Yeah. Alright, so let's back off the bass. I don't even think I need to boost the bass that much. Just a little half, just like everything else. So everything's at a half a notch. Except the volume's like 3/4 of the way. See, that sounds better. It doesn't distort as much. So it doesn't have a gain knob. It only has a volume. So the volume is the gain knob. The actual like master volume is always on full. Power amps running full blast at all times. That volume's a gain knob. So if you're distorting, back off the EQ or back off the volume. You know. I can boost the volume. Let me back off the bass. And it should stay clear. Yeah, I mean it sounds clear. I'm still driving the heck out of it. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a little combo. It's not made for all that. Maybe back off the bass a little bit more, and then I can probably crank the volume. And back off the EQ. EQ's flat. EQ's flat. Volume's at 3/4. Let's see how that fares. Like I said, I won't be doing this. This is my church rig, so it's not going to be very loud. Sounds cherry. EQ flat, you can crank it. My suggestion is if you need to get louder, it turns like you need to turn down the bass to get louder. Let's go back one notch, see how that sounds. Yeah, see, that still sounds just about the same. Like tone wise, that sounds just about the same. Bass is back one notch, and it stays cleaner. I got the volume at more than 3/4. It's about full. Let's crank it. Let's do it. Alright, volume cranked. Let's see what it sounds like. Crank. It gets more than decently loud for a little 112 combo. Volume at 1 point past center, so what is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Volume at 4, it goes to 6. Everything goes to 6. The notches on them go to 6. So if you're going to 10s, then it would be each notch is actually in between the notches would count as a number if you were thinking about it in 10s. Alright. Yeah, and that's still with the bass all the way down. Yeah, and that sounds good by itself. Personally, this thing might sound better with a little bass off. But now it sounds all quiet. Does need a slight amount of treble. It's really warm sounding, so I like the treble and the mids boosted. And apparently it sounds better with the bass about a half a notch down. Yeah, see, that's nice right there. And then you work everything with your tones. Turn it up. Get all turted. That is the jazz bass through the RB112. So that's, some volume, about half volume, full volume, and then back to 4. 4 is a good spot. I probably won't ever go over 4 on that. This is gonna be my church rig, my running around. You pick it up with 2 fingers. Like it's dope. It's really light. 2 fingers. And it'll be perfect, man. Because I've been hauling around this 50-pound 212 behind me. And shoot, this thing weighs as much as just my head. So, it's great. It's pretty cool. Of course, that thing's more powerful, more flexible, and I got 412s for when I need them. But when I don't need them, I got this great sounding little 112 combo now. Cherry. Ampeg, you done did good this time. Oh, when you get yours, check the screws. They're all loose. Well, mine were. So I tighten these down. You don't want to crank them too much because it's lightweight, which means this wood's not the greatest wood. That's what lightweight means, all right? It means it's not exactly like the most solid wood, but it doesn't really rattle. Sounds good. I'd stand to pop a couple screws in the grill. Just to seat it on there a little better. Because Ampeg holds everything on with Velcro. They've been doing it for decades, and normally they're real good. They're like these little circle push ones that you go bing, and it actually like pops into place and it stays there forever. This one is just like the BA combos. It's a little cheap strip of Velcro. I'd slap a screw in there. Slap a screw in there and get a nice tight fit. But it doesn't vibrate off, so that's cool. At least not audible vibrations, which is good. Like you don't hear it flubbing around on there. But it's not gonna last you forever. That Velcro on that grill is not gonna last forever. So don't take it off really unless you need to. But when you first get it, pull it off and just hand tighten the screws a little bit. Don't crank them. Just make sure they're snug. I had 2 loose ones on there, and then those screws holding the amp weren't down all the way, so I just tightened them. It's just something I do. I check all the screws when I buy stuff because people get fired for stripping screws. So they make sure that they don't tighten them all the way in the factory. They do it all the time. It's like standard procedure. You cannot get fired for not stripping a screw. So they don't strip them. They get them to where it starts resisting and they stop. A lot of times. Because they're scared. Me, I tighten them. All right, I like my stuff tightened and not vibrating on me or falling off. Because that's a big one, falling off. You play it good for a while, you pick it up one day, and the handle falls off. I hate that. But anyways, this combo seems to be very great for the money. It's $400. It gets more than loud enough. It sounds great. It has its own overdrive channel that I haven't checked out yet. I will eventually, but I have an aftershock, so I'm not really interested in that. But it does have a headphone out and an aux in, which is great too. And it's light. Pick it up with 2 fingers. It sounds great. So, and a DI. That's the big thing. It has a DI out, so you don't need the 15. If you want to get the 15 or the 210, you can. But you don't need it. The 12 has a DI out. It's perfect. All right? Late.